Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today it's going to be a match here today between WhiteRa and Squall here on Heartbreak Ridge. Going to be a ZVP as part of a Team Liquid replay pack that I found over on the forums. And on the left side of Heartbreak Ridge we have the Ukrainian player. It is WhiteRa. He is orange, he is Protoss. And on the right side is the Spanish player. His name is Squall. He's yellow. And he is Zerg. Orange versus yellow. Protoss versus Zerg. Here on Heartbreak Ridge, welcome again to another edition of a Falcon Cast Brood War. If you haven't already, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, because I do a lot of Brood War, you guys. A lot of StarCraft Remastered, a little bit of Carbot, and every once in a while, non-remastered classic games. If that interests you, then, hey, you're in the right place. Dun, 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 dun. Actually, I think I'm gonna make this a patron. Gonna make this a patron thing. So if you're watching this, thank you for being a patron. If you're watching this 4 months after, or 4 weeks after it was originally posted, then hey, you can become a patron to me at falconpaladin@gmail.com for as little as $1 a month. Falconpaladin@gmail.com. What am I talking about? Patreon.com/falconpaladin. Link in the description. We're all over the place. Let's go ahead and focus on the game. That sounds like something we should probably do. Alright, man. Pool first is scouted. 2-player map. Not hard to scout your opponent. Where they, what they're up to. If you see the pool coming on in, then you're like, aha. Pool first. It wasn't a crazy pool, like a 4 pool or anything, or it'd be pretty much done by now. So the pro's going to go ahead and try to block. WhiteRa is one of those players that will be very annoying. He's going for a Forge Fast Expand himself. He's not going for a Cannon Rush. Or else he would already have thrown down a pylon, as that Forge is just about done, and the timing needs to make more sense than that. Yeah, so this drone is actually... Oh, are you going to take the third as your natural? That's frustrating, especially on this map. That third base is not easily accessible. I'm going to throw that out. It's not easily accessible. It's really far away, actually. So, I guess you can mine those minerals and it's a little bit easier access, but... Man, so frustrating. WhiteRa already getting ahead of the Spanish player. Again, pretty good player. He's won some local tournaments and stuff. He's good enough to have his own Liquipedia page. So, I mean, he can't be horrifically bad, right? Yeah, so I like Squall. His APM is fine. He's not going crazy with the spam. Some lings are out because obviously the pool is done. Oh, a drone got killed by this probe too. This is an MVP probe, man. She's dead. Obviously, this probe is dead. Well, actually, if we can keep these lings at home... Man, this probe is keeping a ling at home. Has killed a drone. Delayed the expansion. I'm just doing everything WhiteRa could ever ask it to do. And these lings cruising across the map. This is actually not a hard map to wall off with your Forge Fast Expand. So we're not going to worry about from WhiteRa either. He might bring some probes down and try to block this off. Or just throw another building right here. Something along those lines. Is he just blocking with a single probe? Gonna try blocking with a single probe. I don't know about this. Okay, another... There we go. Multiple probes come down for the block. But how many lings get through? No! 2! 2 of them get through in varying stages of health. Natural base does go down, and eventually I think the probe... That probe did not go home. Okay, so probe is down. So nicely picked up and killed there by Squall. But yeah, 2 lings running around. It's not 3 lings and it's not 4 lings, so we don't have to worry about too much about it. If you're WhiteRa right now, it is annoying, but you've been annoying with the probe to this point, so turnabout is only fair play. You can't be too frustrated by this. WhiteRa, I like WhiteRa a lot. He's a nice guy. He did transition to StarCraft 2, one of the players who successfully did so. And just became a fan favorite in StarCraft 2 as well. People love him. Obviously, people love him in the Brood War community just because, again, super nice guy and an older dude. It's like people who are older can kind of identify with him. Probe sniped. Hey, hey. Not bad. A lot of lost mining time here, too, for WhiteRa. Squall is kind of holding his own. He's holding his own here. Sure, he got delayed in the early game, but he is now causing WhiteRa a lot of trouble on the other end. And he knows there's no Dragoons coming because that Cyber Core was delayed. Although one is in production now, just barely getting started. Ling is trying to regen its health and not die to these probes. Oh, does die to the probes. That's frustrating. But still, 3 probes off the line to deal with this. So annoying. So incredibly annoying here. Probe's getting to work the natural base. This Ling is... Are you the one that got the kill? This is the one that got the kill. So he's still alive. He's a hero. He is a hero among Zerg all over the place. Lair on the way now, too, from Squall. Is he taking any gas? There's a Zealot over here trying to get some stuff done, but he's killed 0 things thus far, and as a result, he's not going to get anything done. Yeah, he's surrounded and no kills. So annoying, but did force some lings out here from Squall, which he has enough that I feel like he's trying to make a bunch anyway. Checking to see if there's any pylons up here, any cannons coming down, and there's not, so he's going to go ahead and go back to the other side, and the ling does get taken out by the Dragoon, as is tradition. So, is he rolling off with extra cannons? He is making one extra cannon, because he knows the number of lings that were out. Part of that zealot moving across was about scouting, part of it was about forcing some lings out, and he forced some lings out and scouted the lings and said, there's going to be a bunch of Zerglings coming out here, so 2 cannons and a Dragoon should be enough to hold against this little bit of a ling flood. I don't see it doing a whole lot, unfortunately. Squall is trying to kill WhiteRa early, but WhiteRa is responding just too perfectly. That cannon comes in just in the nick of time. And now there's a zealot, too, that these lings can't even surround. So Squall is making 8 drones at a time, going for a spire. No second gas, so I feel like what he's doing is preparing for maybe a Stargate, but that is a Citadel of a Dune opening, ladies and gentlemen. Out of WhiteRa, he is not going for Stargate here at all. So Mutalisks might actually be pretty great if there are no Corsairs. I mean, Corsairs with their splash damage are the bane of Mutalisks' existence, without question. They are a good answer to Mutalisks if you happen to be Protoss. I mean, a lot of the stuff they added... Ooh, hang on, that's a free Dragoon if you want it. Oh, Squall was not paying attention. Squall wasn't paying attention to it there. But... yeah, a lot of the stuff they added into Brood War, into the expansion for StarCraft 1, which came out in '98, and then I believe Brood War came out later that same year. But bottom line, a lot of it was to do with Mutalisks, because Mutas were really, really good. They were fast, they hit air and ground, their attacks splashed onto multiple targets, and Valkyries didn't exist and Corsairs didn't exist. And Terran and Protoss were like, what are we supposed to do? And Terran was like, all my units, I can't heal them up. They just, if I stim them, they never ever regain that HP, and what do I do about it? So that's why we got medics, that's why we got Valkyries, and that's why we got Corsairs. That's your answer for it. So, in case you're wondering why those units exist, it's because Mutalisks were unstoppable for about 8 months in StarCraft 1 when that was a thing. He's making Scourge, man. I know you're used to it being a Stargate opening, but it is not. It is not a Stargate opening from WhiteRa. He's blindly trying to counter Corsairs here with the Scourge, and it's not happening. Lurker aspect on the way from Squall. We're going for Zealot legs and +1 attack, as well as some High Templar, because the Templar Archives is done. Look at this. Look how silly you feel, Scourge. Flies in. He's like, oh, this is not what I thought it was. I'm so sorry. Got DT moving out, killing free Zerglings who aren't running away. There we go. One of them manages to get back home to tell his friends what happened. Well, maybe all his friends are dead. I don't know. Is it Archon? So Zealot Archon play here out of WhiteRa. This strategy persists into StarCraft 2, everybody, in case you're wondering. Zealot Archon is pretty strong. Fast Zealots is also a pretty viable strategy in StarCraft 2. We see it quite a bit. Not so much the higher levels, just because there are some pretty good strategies for sure to deal with it, but yeah, Sunken Overlord means this DT is maybe killing a few Zerglings, but you're not getting much else done here, buddy. That is some really good positioning. Unless the far side is not covered by the Sunken, he's trying to find an angle where he can stay alive. Not finding it. Not finding it at all, it would seem. Archon looks so cool with the orange spinny things orbiting around him. Wub, 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 wub. With a little purple in there. Gosh. Remastered Archons look good. So good. One of the things that really sold me on this game, and I mean, I was sold on it when it was first announced, I believe. I was like, Warcraft in space? What? I was really into it. But yeah, I was playing multiplayer. Like, we just immediately, when we got it, me and my friends took it to my buddy's house. We had a LAN party going. I'd lugged my PC from down the street to his basement, which, man, LAN parties where you brought your PCs, including a huge CRT monitor, to your friend's house was it. Just memories, man. Just memories. You know what I'm talking about if you're an old person like me. But anyway, we just immediately loaded up the multiplayer because we were like, who needs single-player campaign? We're just going to go multiplayer here and just play against each other. And like we were figuring out build orders just all by ourselves. The tech tree was brand new. It's like, what are these little guys? Oh, they're fast. We'll make a bunch of those. And then somebody showed up at my base with an Archon, and I was like, what is that? Blah, blah. I started murdering all my stuff, and I loved it. I almost fell in love with Protoss there, but the Zerg style of swarm, swarm, swarm is just more my speed. It's just always spoken to me ever since that day. That first day I ever played StarCraft 1. Alright, so we got Scourge cruising on a boot, which again, not doing a whole lot. I guess maybe trying to kill observers, which not bad. It's not bad use for them, but really not. Empty shuttle in the house. I would think maybe for High Templar, but they're just walking normal. By walking, I mean hovering and leaving a blue imprint behind them. So at this point, I think Squall's okay. He's got lurkers. He's going Hydras. Hydra lurker pretty good in this situation. The storms are going to make all the difference, as they always do in the ZVP world. And yeah, man, it's just more of the same here from WhiteRa. I don't see the production tab producing anything else. No buildings on the way that would be anything of a tech switch. It's just going to be gateway units with some Archons and High Templar. That's the play here. So I almost feel like mutas would be incredible. Like a mass muta play here. Dodging Storm, sniping High Templar. There aren't that many Dragoons present. I guess there's a decent number. They do have the +1 attack, so maybe it's not a good idea. Maybe it's not. How are the upgrades today? Nothing. No upgrades for Squall. Although +1 Carap is just finished. As I said, he had no upgrades. So never mind. He does now. 94 to 95 supply, pretty even across the board here. This is where Zerg can start to increase overall in supply, 11 to 12 minutes. And if they do, they're in a good spot. If they don't, they're in a bad spot. This engagement's going to tell us a lot about how the rest of this game is going to go. Coming up to the third base, I don't know if you want to go in there. You might get trapped in by lurkers. You might want to send in like some units and go for maybe a storm drop, but there are lurkers here too. Alright, so the Lings sacrifice a couple of themselves for a storm. That's a fair trade for Squall. I think he's okay with that, honestly. Squall, come around. He's coming around. He's trying to trap WhiteRa in here. The Scourge do take down. Oh, beautiful. They do take down the shuttle. Storm on a couple of these lurkers, but not enough to kill them, actually. Lurkers causing some major problems for these Dragoons that generally don't trade well, but these are not doing too poorly. The two lurkers that did get stormed do get picked off, and WhiteRa, again, he's trapped, man. He has to kill as many drones as possible because he is not killing this army to get out of here. The lurkers, not quite sure. They're trying to get into a position. Move up! Okay, so I think he's just burrowing in a position to try to protect his drones. And maybe try to protect his gas, but that's not working out very well at all. The Dragoons are just sitting back and like picking off lurkers from distance. Where, man, I can't even try to get rid of the thing up here. There we go. All right, so Ling's coming on in. This Archon has been doing pretty well for himself. He's got 10 kills. And he keeps racking that up. 15 kills, man. He is a Ling mass murderer is what he is. WhiteRa is expanding behind this because he's good at StarCraft. I cannot believe this dude. 17 kill Archon. He's going to go down here. 19, 21, 24. Can we get 24, ladies and gentlemen? 24 Zergling kills. Can't do auctioneer stuff, but a little bit. I can pretend I can do auctioneer stuff. I can go off the screen on this map. That's weird. All right, man. So WhiteRa, I mean, he delayed a fourth base, which is nice. He didn't really kill any drones. I'm not sure he made good trades overall with his units. Squall's got a lot of stuff going for him, dude. Squall is playing exceptionally well. And again, the good thing about these games is, sure, we know WhiteRa, but it's not a guarantee that he's going to win, right? Just because we know the player name of one player, not the other one. I'm going to tell you some of the games that I've cast recently from people that we know versus unknowns. The unknowns have won sometimes. That's just the nature of StarCraft, man. Sometimes weird stuff happens. Sometimes you get outplayed. It doesn't mean you're a worse player than the dude, but just means that day you were worse. So drop-in time here from Squall. Oh, this is really problematic. This is really problematic for WhiteRa. I mean, it just drops like right here, tosses some lurkers down. That cannon gets focused, and I don't know how this is responded to, honestly. Although they're just going to go for the gateways. Lings are here. They don't have adrenal glands, which is totally fine. Lurkers against buildings is not particularly all that great. As it turns out, you're going to have to storm the crap out of these. Pretty good spread on those, honestly. So one lurker gets hit by that storm, but not the other one or the one next door, which is really nice. Lings taking down 2 gateways. Ooh, that hurts. Actually taking down that production quite nicely. The Archons don't want to go in. There's still 4 lurkers present. And that gateway taking some shots. Another beautiful storm. Archon. Nice micro on WhiteRa. Getting that out of there. This lurker still stabbing away. Where's the observer? There it is. So lurker's got 2 kills. A couple gateways go down. But otherwise, I don't think that was super damaging for WhiteRa. Squall is up 112 to 97 supply. That's what I'm talking about, guys. This is where Zerg can start to get a little bit scary. Even just on 3 bases. I'd love to see him take a 4th. Ling's throwing their lives away here. No problem. Really not getting a lot accomplished there, unfortunately. However, the 3rd base of WhiteRa is in a lot of trouble. There is storm defending, and there are cannons. But there's not enough of either of those to take out all of these Zerglings that take the cannons down, immediately get in here and snipe down the probes. They're actually letting the High Templar live. Never mind, he's gone. And they're going after the Nexus, too. So the Lurker's delaying the response here. Are the probes trying to save the Nexus? I think the probes are fighting against these Lings and actually doing a pretty good job of it. The Lings do have +1 attack. Can he get the Nexus? Yes, the Nexus does end up going down. And WhiteRa loses his third base. Squall, being on 3 bases, is now not behind. He is now ahead. Although WhiteRa is immediately replanting that Nexus because he's a good Protoss player. And that is what good Protoss players do. But that's a major victory for Squall, no question. Still going for the drop stuff. WhiteRa, big old scary army here, and I just don't... Was there a Defiler mound somewhere? This is where you really need to tech up to Defilers if you're Squall. And the fact that he's not worries me immensely. Again, as a Zerg main since 1998, I'd like to see it. I'd like to see Plague on this Gateway-style army here. Some Dark Swarm would be incredible, too, against these Dragoons. Mass Hydra, not terrible here either, but Lurker Ling... Okay, holding its own to this point is what it's doing. Another drop in the main of some Lings that are now Cracklings, yes? Oh, great Storm, though. Great Storm, though. So those Cracklings, they attack faster, but by golly, they are not any tankier than they were before they had the upgrade. I'll tell you that much. Alright, so swinging around down south, yada, yada, yada. Things are fine here, things are fine here. And, yeah, man, 4th base is done for Squall. He's defending it, right? He's got a ton of Ling and Lurker over here. I mean, what would be great against this is anything that can fly. Like a carrier transition would be stupid good against this. Although Scourge already exists, so eh. Cracklings going against these cannons. Doing okay, but there weren't enough of them. Cannons up, not dead. Although injured. Does that pull? Ooh, that pulls WhiteRa's army all the way back here. Not good. Not good for WhiteRa. You don't want to do that. Send some units back to defend, but all your army back just means that Squall has more time to macro up. He is going for Defilers now and consume. Where'd that Defiler mound come? In the main base. Cool. So I'm not sure if that was on the way when I was looking at that area, but whatever. Robotics Bay coming in from WhiteRa. And yeah, if we get some Plague in here or some Dark Swarm, whatever, some Defiler play at all would be fantastic. Consume is just about done here. That might be where things get a little bit difficult for WhiteRa, is when there are Defilers out with good amounts of energy. Sure, he's got Storm, a lot of Storm, because he's got how many? 5 High Templar here? That's pretty good stuff, man. Some of them have enough energy for a couple Storms, some only 1. Do we ever see the Kadaran Amulet upgrade for Templar? Sometimes we do. Don't be distracted, Lings. Get in there. Take that base down before this slow Protoss army can take you down. Oh, there's no Storm? There's no Storm! Oh my gosh, how are there no High Templar here? Alright, man, once again, the Nexus is getting focused down. Again, these Lings have adrenal glands this time, but with the +1 attack, they're not going to save it. They're not going to save it. No! Only 2 Lings remaining, but the Nexus goes down again, and WhiteRa is once again dumped back into being a 2-basing Protoss. He's not mined out of his main base or his natural, which is a major saving grace for him right now. But by golly, Miss Molly, well, we got Scourge over here. We got Lings ready for some kind of a drop. As WhiteRa just seems at a bit of a loss right now. Squall is taking a lot of the map. There's a lot of yellow out here. 3rd base getting replanted again, but it's 154 to 136 supply in favor of the Zerg player. He's got Hydras in production, more Lings on the way. He's got the Defilers. They've been consuming. So they don't have full energy, but they should have full energy. There we go. There it is. That's your full energy Defiler. Consume an overpowered mechanic if there ever was one. Observer taken down by Scourge, which is bad. I mean, WhiteRa's like, I guess that's better than losing a shuttle to Scourge, but at the same time, I don't want to be blind going in there because there could be more Scourge, as there happen to be. Only 1, though. 2 Scourge are needed to take down a shuttle, which, if he can unload a bunch of DTs into the main base, I don't know. There's detection here, and there's a bunch of Zerglings. With the Crackling upgrade, did he just expand again? Yes! And he's got Scourge defending here, too. I'm loving what Squall is doing. I'm in love with what Squall is doing today. He's got 3 Carapace. He's going for Ultralisks. I mean, what's the answer for Ultras if you're right now? If you're WhiteRa, Archon's not bad. Dragoon's not bad either. Zealot's actually not bad. I'm not a huge fan of Ultras against Protoss, honestly. Boy, these Lings are just chomping away. They wound 1 Dragoon immensely, and then just kill another one. What's this about? This is a humongous Zerg attack. Coming to the front door of WhiteRa, Cracklings hiding, Storm defending, Scourge getting picked out of the sky by that Storm. Another Storm happening here. Archon pops up to get a couple Blah-Blahs off, and then the Reaver has a nice day. But that Nexus is going to go down here too. WhiteRa losing a 3rd Nexus today. That is not good. No Protoss player wants to start his day or have his day include losing 3 Nexuses in 1 game. but he does have Reavers. I mean, that's the thing about Ultras. Reavers are really good against them. Archons are pretty good against them. Dragoons are really good against them. Zealots are good against them. Carriers are okay against them. Like, Ultras have a lot of answers. I have not seen a Zerg player go Ultra against Protoss in a while. Oh, WhiteRa did try to sneak a base down here to the south. He's going to save that one. The cannons are going to die, but the Nexus is going to live. There's not enough Lings here to shut this down, I don't think. Although defensive distracting Lings might actually buy just the couple seconds these guys need. Although Storm is amazing. And this Ling. Can't get it. But, I mean, in the... Nice Plague tossed down before that Defiler died, by the way. But in the sense of how many bases have been killed for each player, no Nexuses, or rather, no hatcheries have died. And 3 Nexuses have gone down, and soon to be a 4th. If this one is any indication, it's very low on HP. It's 187 to 136 supply in favor of Squall. Anabolic Synthesis on the way, so the Ultras have speed, which does help them. Again, any upgrade that helps units be faster in StarCraft is going to be good. Oh, no, he can't lose these Reavers. He loses one. And, wow, that is some good covering your buddy's back there, friend. Nicely done. That was close. Like, Reavers getting just destroyed and attacked without any support is a scary, scary thing. But they were there for each other. 9 kills on one, 15 kills on the other. Wait, where... Did he just attack? What was that? I don't know what that was. I've had this experience. Trying to attack Reavers with Lings is, if you do it right, it's not bad. But Reaver production is great. Ultralisk production's a little bit better. Just in sheer numbers. How many Reavers does it take to take down this many Ultras is my question. It's 100 damage per shot. They've got 400 HP. It is splash, so that helps. But this feels like a bit of a death knell. This is going to be a drop in the main of Ultras and Lurkers. Oh, gosh. Doesn't it feel like you can come up here and kind of drop off that cliff into the main base if you want to? Maybe. Yeah, man. I think this is Squall getting the win. Holy cannoli. I just don't think WhiteRa has enough. He's really walled up in here. He only has a couple Archons. And 2 total Reavers. And Storm is great. Well, that Reaver's going to die. And it does. That's really annoying stuff. But sandwiching the Zerg army in here is not bad. Lurker's burrowing on in. Defiler needs to cast something. He just plagues up the Reavers, which makes them easier to kill, but oh, they're really hitting hard right now. The Lurker's getting stabbed out of the ground here by the Archons, which is really good stuff. But Ultralisk taking down probes here in the natural base. 4 kills and 3 kills each there. 175 to 92 total supply. The Ultras do get taken down. WhiteRa does live to survive a little bit longer, but his 4th base is in trouble, and that's your good game. WhiteRa taps out. He wants to remake against Squall here. Squall probably says okay. He calls the GG. And Squall, the Spanish Zerg player, is your winner in 22 minutes and 54 seconds. That was some good Zerg play. I'm inspired. I am inspired by that, Squall. Well done. Woo! So excited. I had a bit of a little cough there to get through, but I think the mute got up. Anyway, anywho... Yeah, I kind of feel like WhiteRa won the first bit of that game, right? He delayed. The Lings got inside. They were annoying. WhiteRa lost a lot of mining time to a probe in the early game. Though I think we were even. But again, WhiteRa was never able to push across the map. Was never able to take down a single hatchery today. Not one. Look at these bases. Look how many hatcheries there are. A lot. It's a lot of them. And then losing this base was just the death knell for sure. There was no coming back from that. Not any. I think he checked over here first to see if there was a base and then wiped this one out. But yeah, man, Ultralisks getting a win versus Protoss. Go figure. Again, the Ultras weren't super fantastic in this battle. I don't think they were cost efficient, really. Sure, they killed some Reavers, which was nice, but in the end, they died. They didn't kill the base. They killed some probes, and the army is not too terribly smaller here than it was when it first showed up for WhiteRa. But I guess if you're that far ahead, maybe you can just go Ultralisks and call it a good day. That's a good explosion animation. I love remastered explosions for Protoss. They're pretty. Look how pretty that is. There's a little like bubble in the middle of it. These probes are like flying around. I mean, I don't know if this is the thumbnail, but it's just pretty to look at anyway. All right, good stuff. Nicely done by Squall. Let's check out that final score. And 148,000 to 128,000 for Squall gets the win there. WhiteRa kills 386 Zerg units. Squall only kills 86 Protoss units and wins 86 in 22 minutes. That is not a lot. Structures raised was a big deal, though. 27 structures raised by Squall, including 3 Nexuses, and 4, if we count the one that died at the end of the game there. And then resources, Squall just killed WhiteRa. He expanded. He was on 3 base to 3 base for some time, but they did manage to take down WhiteRa's 3rd base and then expand to a 4th, and from there he just went nuts. From there he expanded a couple more times and just called it a day and decided to go for ultras for funsies, it seems like, and Super Mega Ultra got the win. All right, good stuff then. Great stuff, honestly, today. So that's going to be it for me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.